today we're going to be making these paper clips out of like paper mache and gold leaf, and they're like little antlers that I had a dream about, and I thought it'd be really cool to make them. So let's see, we need supplies: paper clips, Mod Podge, gold flakes, flour, water, scrap pieces of paper or tissue paper, wire, and a paintbrush. And I will have the list of that as well as links in the description down below. So here I start out with cutting a piece of wire that I'm going to wrap around the paper clip. So you want to make sure that you use pliers or like some sort of wire cutter to cut the wire. Otherwise it messes up your scissors if you use your scissors, but you can use your scissors. And the wire I'm using is actually Floral Wire that they use in like the flower department to do like flower arrangements. I'm not sure. It was less expensive than like the wire in like the jewelry section, but you can use whatever wire you want. I mean, the biggest thing about crafting and making things is just kind of like you have an idea and just go for it. Just try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like, I've done so many projects that don't work out, or maybe I think they look awesome and other people are like, what are you doing? So with this, there's not like a straightforward tutorial on how to make these, because I just kind of had an idea and I felt it and just experimented with it. So I wrapped it around nice and tight to kind of give us a base. What we're doing is building the base of the antlers, like a frame, like a hanger, making the hanger of the antlers, and then we're going to build on top of it. So you want to take time and make sure that the frame is exactly what you want, because once you go to do the paper mache over the top, any paper mache, there's not a lot of wiggle room after you've already decided. It's just like when you're doing a painting, you want to make sure that the drawing first is exactly what you want. There's airplanes that keep going. I don't know if you can hear them. Yeah, so I wrapped it around the paper clip, and then I made kind of like a bunny loop, and the little piece on the bottom is going to be like the horn part of the antler, or the ears. It almost looks like ears. They're so cute though. And now I'm just making the little prongs, I think they're called, with my pliers, and just kind of, you know, going for it. Just try. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just try, you know. And if it sucks, like, try again. So the first one I should have filmed like the fourth one, because I think I made 12 in total. And the first two I was like, should I do it this way or that way? And then by the time I got to it, I had like a system down. They took me like 2 minutes to do. So I probably should have filmed that one, but you can kind of see how it takes time. But it's fun. And look how cute. You can already see the little antler. Look how cute it is. See? Adorable. And yeah, so if you don't want to go through the pain of making these, but you think they're super cute, I'm also going to have them available in my shop while supplies last. I don't know if I'll be making another batch of these, although I might. I think the next one I'm going to make is Mickey Mouse ears, though. That's another thing, is if you try the ideas, like more come so many things I want to do. You just need time, focus, dedication, energy, passion. Okay, so we're almost done with this part. Last little pesky piece. Come on, guy. I think this paperclip is a boy. I like to give them genders. Then you just want to pinch it nice and tight, and I kind of twisted them so they stayed in place, because again, you want to make sure that the frame is nice and solid, because it's a frame. We're going to build off of this. So look at that little guy. I mean, it's cute just like that, right? But boom. See, I had so much easier time with the last few of those. Do you like my magic trick? I'm like bewitched. Okay, so for the paper mache, you take flour and water, and it kind of depends on the thickness you want, but I usually do about 1-to-1 ratio. And you don't need glue, you don't need paste. I remember researching the first time I made paper mache, and I was like, how can flour and water work? But I made like so many paper mache things now. I made this giant pinata once, and flour and water is really strong, like paste in the end. So you want to just make sure you mix it really well. That's what I'm doing here. And then you want to let it set, but not too long. You want to let it set for just like 10-15 minutes, and it kind of lets the flour absorb into the water. I don't know if you're cooked, but like when you make a roux, you want it to thicken up a little bit, but not too long. And if you're like me and you have a baby that you need to like run off to, then just put some saran wrap over it. You can even like put it in a Ziploc bag and come back to it tomorrow. Or just make a new little batch of paste. So then you take little tiny pieces of scrap paper or tissue paper or newspaper, and we're just going to create a like a sculpture over the wires, and just wrap it around and pinch and squeeze. You want to make sure that you get the excess paste off the paper before you wrap it around. Otherwise, it'll end up just like soggy and goopy. So I'm going to speed this up because it takes a while, and you can do several layers. You can just do one layer. I mean, I didn't do it in different sections, but you could, and you do when you do bigger projects. But this is just like teeny tiny paper mache. So if you are to do several sections, or you want to be really durable or thick, you'd let it dry 24 hours in between. And you do the exact same. You take little pieces of paper, wipe off the excess, and just wrap it around the already made little antlers. But yeah, you just kind of pinch and squeeze and make the frame have a little bulk. This is like we're taking our hanger or frame and we're adding clothes to it, or volume. It's just like a little sculpture that you can paint or do anything with. And you can make any design. It doesn't have to be antlers if you want to make a Christmas tree. So this is important. You want to wash off any excess flour, water combo paste before it dries. I mean, you can get it off after it dries, but just take the time to clean your brushes, clean off the mess, because it dries like paste. It is crazy. and you don't want to be messing with that later on. Same with like drippings. If you drip a bunch of flour water mixture. Oh, I just remember making this giant turkey for Thanksgiving, paper mache. I don't know. I wanted to be the cool stepmom, and I ended up doing the whole project because my stepson hated getting his hands dirty, but it was a lot of fun and I learned a lot. But I made the biggest mess thinking, oh, it's just flour and water. I'll clean it up later. I ruined towels. I ruined like a table. I mean, you can clean it up, but it's a pain. So just clean it as you go. Just rinse it off. So then you want to put them someplace where they're not touching each other, because if they dry together, and let it dry for about 24 hours. I mean, you can let it dry longer. I wouldn't suggest less, because you want all the moisture to be evaporated out, so you don't get like mold. If you're in Seattle area like us, it's wet everywhere and you could get mold. So now we got our Mod Podge. I always say that wrong. Mod Podge. I want to say Maji Podgy, but it's Mod Podge, which is just a really awesome glue for collages and stuff. So you just put it all over the surface, and then these gold flakes are just so cool. And they're not very expensive. I always thought it was really expensive. This brand, which I'll put the link to, I want to say it's like $3 for this giant bottle that lasts forever if you don't waste it. I don't know. I mean, so you put the paste down, and then you put the foil over the top, and again, just like everything else here, you just kind of feel it through and wait and keep going until it looks like something you want. Now you want to keep in mind that the Mod Podge has a little bit of, like, you can see it right now, but when it dries clear or matte. And when I put the gold flakes on, you can kind of see I left some of the white paper showing through. Now you can go through and paint it or cover it solidly, but I wanted it to kind of look like old, or like the gold is worn off or something like that. So that's preference. And then there it is in my travel journal. Sticks out, and they're pretty darn durable, so if you bump into them or something, they're not going anywhere, and they're just so cute. Aren't they cute? So if you make them, like, tag me. I want to see it. If you like if you like what you see and you want to see more, let's do it. Okay, follow, like, share, comment, do all the things that you're to do on social media to help each other out. Let's build a tribe. Let's do it.